You keep waiting for someone to save you. You keep waiting for the opportunity, the connection, the lucky break. But I'm here to tell you, no one's coming. You want success. You want freedom. You want to level up. Then unleash the fighter within. There's a part of you that's been locked up, a beast, a warrior. And you've kept the cage because life beat you down. You failed once, and now you play it safe. You got rejected, and now you stopped trying. But listen to me, that pain was never meant to paralyze you. It was meant to wake you up. You've been surviving, but you were built for more than that. You were built to dominate. Built to lead, built to break barriers, but you got to tap into that deep part of yourself that refuses to quit, that refuses to listen to fear, that refuses to stay average. You think champions have easy lives. You think fighters don't get tired. They get tired. They bleed. They fall, but they never stay down. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented, but you must be the one who doesn't stop swinging. It's not about being motivated. It's being driven. It's about waking up every day and saying, today I fight. I fight for my dream. I fight for my family. I fight for my future, my legacy. Because when you unleash the fighter within, the world better move out the way. You already have what it takes. Now act like it. You've been sitting on greatness far too long. There's something inside of you that's powerful, something that was placed in you the moment you were born, but you've been hiding it, ignoring it, or waiting for someone else to give you permission to use it. But I'm telling you right now that you don't need anyone's permission. You don't need validation. You don't need the perfect moment or the perfect plan. What you need is to recognize that everything you need is already within you. The strength, the fire, intelligence, the drive is there. You've just got to stop doubting yourself and start acting like the person you were always meant to be. Too many people walk around every day acting like they're average when they were born to be extraordinary. You weren't made to blend in. You weren't made to just survive. You were built to stand out, to rise up, to lead. But that won't happen until you make a decision to activate the power that's been lying dormant inside you. Think about it. How many dreams have you talked yourself out of? How many chances have you passed up because you thought you weren't good enough, smart enough, strong enough? That stops today. That version of you that keeps hesitating, that keeps playing small, that keeps shrinking in the face of opportunity, that version has to go. You've got to rise up with courage and take what's yours. You already have what it takes. You don't need another degree, another course, another opinion. You've got the vision, the story, the scars, and the soul. Now move. Some of the most successful people on this planet didn't have perfect conditions or flawless plans. They had grit, they heart. They had the kind of belief that says, I might not have it all figured out, but I'm not quitting. And that's what you need. Not perfection, but persistence. Not applause, but action. Not faith. You're waiting for a sign. This is it. You're waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. I'm telling you. You were born ready. You just haven't been moving like it. You've let people talk you out of your power. You've let your past limit your present. You've let failure convince you to stop trying. But deep down, you know there's more inside of you. You feel it when you're alone, when the world is quiet and you're stuck with your thoughts. That itch to become more, that itch to do something bigger. That's not imagination. That's your true self trying to break through. Listen to it. It's time to stop making excuses. Stop saying one day. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Life's not going to hand it to you. You've got to go after like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your happiness, your purpose, your legacy, they're all waiting on the other side of your decision to act. You don't get to blame the world when you're the one who keeps hiding your fire. You don't get to complain about not being where you want to be if you keep holding the best parts of yourself. It's time to show up fully, fiercely, and fearlessly. This isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's about stepping into the life you were created for. It's about walking in truth, not fear. The world doesn't need more people. Pretend needs you. Your voice, your ideas, your strength. And here's the truth. You can't inspire others by playing small. You can't lead by hiding. You can't win if you're afraid to even step into the ring. So get up. Stand tall. Start speaking with the authority of someone who knows they've been chosen for something greater. You don't have to feel confident to act. Sometimes you got to move scared. Sometimes you've got to move unsure, but just move. Movement builds momentum, and momentum builds belief, and belief changes everything. The more you show up, the more you prove to yourself that you were built for this. The more you fight for your dream, the more it'll fight for you. You've been through too much to give up now. You've cried too many tears. You've sacrificed too much. You've endured the pain, the loneliness, the disappointment. Don't let it be for nothing. Let it drive you and it reminds you how strong you are. Let it sharpen you. You've already been in the fire. Now it's time to rise out of it. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every challenge, every delay, every heartbreak was preparing you, training you, forging you. But it's only worth if you decide to become the version of you that those trials were shaping. You can't waste your struggle. I can't throw away your potential. The time is now. Not tomorrow, not next year. Right now. Start showing up like you belong in the room. Speak like your words matter. Move like your steps have purpose, because they do time, your effort, your life, they matter. You matter. And the only thing standing between you and the life you were born to live is the belief that you don't already have what it takes. But you do. You always have. So act like it. Pain is fuel, not your prison. But most people don't see it that way. Most people experience pain and they shut down. They get hurt and they pull back. Life throws a punch and they stay on the ground. But not you. You've got to train yourself to see pain differently. Not as punishment, not as something to run from, but as the very fire that forges who you were meant to be. Because the truth is, no one becomes great without going through something. No one becomes powerful without walking through their own kind of fire. And if you're feeling pain right now, it means something inside of you is still alive, still growing, still fighting. Pain doesn't show up in your life to destroy you. It shows up to develop you. Every time you feel like breaking, every time you want to give up, every time you question whether it's even worth it, that's the moment your transformation is taking place. It's not comfortable, it's not easy, but it's necessary. And when you run from pain, you also run from your power, because the most powerful version of you is shaped in the moments when no one sees you struggling, when no one claps for you, when no one understands what you're going through, but you keep going anyway. Think about it. Some of your most defining moments didn't come when things were good. They came when you were broken, when you were doubting, when everything seemed stacked against you. That's when you had to dig deep. That's when you had to find out what you were really made of. Pain stripped away the distractions. Pain forced you to look in the mirror and make a choice, fold or fight. And every time you chose to fight, every time you refused to give up, you grew stronger. You didn't just survive the pain. You became more because of it. There's a part of you that only wakes up when you're hurting. That part of you doesn't come alive during comfort. It doesn't show up when everything's perfect. It shows up when your back is against the wall, when there's no plan B, when quitting feels like the easy way out. And that's when the real fighter within you is born. You've got to start seeing your pain as your teacher. It's not your enemy. It's your reminder that you're still in the game. You haven't been knocked out. You're still swinging. Too many people let pain trap them. They let it define them. They let it convince them that they're broken, that they're not good enough, that they'll never make it. But that's a lie. You're not trapped. You're being tested. And how you respond to that test will determine everything. You can either let pain become the reason you stop or the reason you push harder than you've ever pushed before. You can either let it break you or build you. That decision is yours every single time. You see, the people who rise, the people who make a mark, the people who leave legacies, they don't avoid pain. They lean into it. They embrace the process. They trust the struggle because they understand that diamonds aren't created in silence. They're made under pressure. Steel isn't forged in stillness. It's forged in fire. And if you want to be unbreakable, you've got to be willing to go through the heat. Stop asking why it's so hard. Start asking what it's trying to teach you. Stop waiting for life to be easy. Start getting stronger so you can handle what's hard. There's no breakthrough without breaking. No growth without growing pains. You want results. You want success. Then be willing to go through what most people avoid. Because the higher you go, the greater the pressure. But pressure isn't the enemy. It's the proof that something powerful is forming. You may be tired. You may be exhausted. But that's what it feels like when you're growing. That's what it feels like when you're becoming something more. Don't mistake pain for failure. Don't confuse discomfort with defeat. Sometimes that ache in your chest, that heaviness in your spirit, that weight on your shoulders, that's just the sound of your soul being stretched. And every time you push through it, every time you keep showing up, you add to the strength that no one can take from you. The strongest people you've ever admired weren't handed an easy path. They fought battles you'll never see. They endured nights you'll never know about. But what made them different is that they didn't let the pain stop them. They used it. They converted every tear, every disappointment, every scar into something powerful. And you can do the same. You just have to stop thinking pain is a curse. It's not. It's the cost of becoming who you were born to be. So stop sitting in the pain like it's a prison cell. Use it like it's rocket fuel. Let it light a fire under you. Let it remind you that you're still alive, still capable, still worthy of everything you dream about. Your pain has purpose, but only if you refuse to let it break you. You were never meant to be trapped. You were meant to transform. You already have the power. You just need to rise through the fire. You don't need perfect conditions to start. You need hunger. That's it. That raw, relentless, undeniable hunger. The kind that burns in your gut when nobody's watching. The kind that whispers to you in the quiet moments when the world is asleep and your dream is still awake. But too many people are waiting for the stars to align, waiting for everything to be in place, waiting for the money, the connection, the timing. And while they wait, life passes them by, opportunities fade, dreams dissolve, because success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who move. Perfection is a myth. If you're sitting around thinking the right moment is going to come knocking on your door, you're going to be waiting forever. Life doesn't work like that. There's never going to be a day when everything is perfect. You're never going to feel 100% ready. And that's okay. You're not supposed to. You just need to want it bad enough to start anyway. That's what hunger does. Hunger doesn't wait. Hunger doesn't care about conditions. Hunger doesn't need guarantees. Hunger just moves. You see, hunger is the difference between those who dream and those who do. Hunger is what wakes you up before your alarm. Hunger is what keeps you up at night planning, preparing, believing. Hunger is what drives you when motivation fades. Because let's be honest, motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel it, most days you don't. But hunger, real hunger, it doesn't leave. It's that constant pressure in your chest that says, I can't stay where I am. I'm built for more. That kind of hunger is what separates the average from the elite. Some people are waiting for their bank account to grow before they start their business. Others are waiting to be more confident before they speak up. Some are waiting for the right camera, the perfect team, the best mentor, the perfect weather. But let me tell you something, the ones who win in life didn't have everything lined up. They started where they were with what they had, broken tools, doubts in their mind, pain in their past, but hunger in their heart. And that hunger pushed them to take the first step, even when it was scary, even when it was messy. You've got to be willing to look foolish before you look polished. You've got to be willing to look like a beginner before you become an expert. Everybody wants to shine, but nobody wants to start in the shadows. Everybody wants the spotlight, but not everybody's willing to fight in the dark. That's the difference. When you're truly hungry, you don't care how it looks. You care that it happens. You're not concerned with perfection. You're obsessed with progress. Hunger will make you knock on doors and never open for anyone else. Hunger will make you try again after the 100th rejection. Hunger will have you studying, sacrificing, and showing up while others are sleeping. It will have you running on fumes and still finding fuel inside your spirit. Hunger will silence the excuses. It will erase the need for comfort. It will drive you so hard that even your fears can't keep up. And let's be real, you'll never feel fully ready. You'll never have all the answers. You'll never have complete certainty. But you don't need certainty. You need courage. You need commitment. You need to say, I don't know how this ends, but I'm showing up anyway. That's hunger. That's how every champion starts. Not with a guarantee, not with applause, but with a decision to begin no matter what. You've got to stop waiting for life to give you permission. Permission to fail, to fall, to get back up. Permission to grow in public. Permission to launch messy, to move uncertain, to dream loudly. Because hunger doesn't care about your pride. Hunger wants progress, and every step forward, no matter how small, gets you closer to who you're becoming. Think about the people you admire. The athletes, the creators, the leaders, the innovators, they didn't get there by waiting for perfect timing. They got there by getting started. They had every reason not to. They had every obstacle in their way. But hunger overpowered every excuse. It silenced every doubt. And that same fire is in you if you're willing to stop waiting and start moving. Start where you are, with fear in your heart, with doubt in your mind, with a shaky voice, with imperfect tools. Just start, because hunger doesn't wait for a flawless beginning. Hunger creates the momentum. And once you move, doors start to open. Confidence starts to build. People start to notice, and you begin to see what you're truly capable of. If you want it, like really want it, don't wait for perfect. Perfect is a trap. Hunger is the truth. And if you've got that hunger, you already have everything you need. Winners aren't born, they're built in the fire. People like to believe that success is a result of talent, that greatness is something people are born with, like it's in their DNA. But that's a lie people tell themselves to feel better about not trying. The truth is, winners are made. They are shaped, molded, and forged in pain, pressure, and adversity. They don't just appear out of nowhere. They're built day by day, brick by brick, battle by battle. It's not the easy days that build a champion. It's the hard ones, the lonely nights, the silent struggles, the moments when quitting feels like the easier option, but you get back up anyway. Everyone wants to win. Everybody wants the glory, the respect, the lifestyle. But what they don't want is the grind. They don't want the fire. They don't want the failure, the sacrifice, or the discipline. But winners run toward it. They embrace it. They understand that the fire is where strength is born. Because you can't build muscle without resistance. You can't build courage without fear. You can't become great without walking through pain. And that's what separates the real ones. They're willing to go through what others avoid. It's not about what you're born with. It's about what you build with what you have. You might not have the best resources. You might not come from the best environment. You might not have the support, the money, the connections. But if you've got hunger, if you've got grit, if you've got heart, you've got everything you need to rise. Because real champions are made in silence. They're made when no one's watching. They're made when the world turns its back and they decide to show up anyway. You have to train yourself to love the fire. Learn to respect the struggle. Because the struggle is your training ground. It's where you learn what you're made of. It's where you develop that unshakable mindset. You don't just wake up confident. You earn confidence through surviving storms. You don't just wake up disciplined. You build it by choosing what's right over what's easy every single day. And that discipline becomes your foundation. That consistency becomes your weapon. You see someone winning and think they had it easy. You see the end result, the highlight reel. But what you don't see is the countless hours they spent grinding. You don't see the days they failed. The times they cried in silence, the doubts that screamed in their head, but they kept going. That's what built them. The fire didn't destroy them, it refined them. They walked through it, and instead of coming out weaker, they came out forged like steel. There are no shortcuts to greatness, no fast lanes, no cheat codes. There's only the fire, and you've got to choose it. Every day you wake up, you've got to make the decision to stay in the fight. When it's boring, when it feels like nothing is working, you stay in the fire because you know something's happening inside you. Every setback is building endurance. Every rejection is building resilience. Every fall is teaching you how to rise stronger. You can't become what you're meant to be by avoiding discomfort. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. The moment you get comfortable, you stop growing. But when you commit to the fire, when you commit to doing what others won't, that's when you separate yourself. That's when you build something unshakable, something that can't be taken away, something that was earned, not given. People will doubt you. Life will test you. You'll lose friends. You'll feel misunderstood. You'll be tired. You'll be tempted to quit. But that's all part of the process. That's what makes the story worth telling. That's what gives your victory meaning. You've got to push through. You've got to show the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you've got what it takes, not because it was handed to you, but because you built it, because you stayed in the fire. There will be days when you don't see progress, days when everything feels stuck, days when it feels like all your effort is wasted. But it's not. Every rep, every tear, every sacrifice, it all adds up. It's stacking strength, building grit, laying the foundation of something powerful. And one day, all of it will break through. The fire will reveal who you've become. And it'll be clear that you didn't get there by chance. You got there because you refused to stop. So if you're going through fire right now, don't run, embrace it. Stand in it. Let it do what it came to do, to shape you, stretch you, build you. Because when it's over, you won't be the same. You'll be better, stronger, ready. You'll walk out of that fire not just as a survivor, but as a warrior, as a winner. Because winners aren't born, they're built in the fire. Talent may open the door, but grit keeps you in the room. You can be the most talented person in the world. You can have the perfect voice, the perfect body, the perfect brain. But none of that means anything if you don't have the perseverance to back it up. Talent might get you noticed. It might help you start fast, but it's not going to carry you through the storms. It's not going to hold you up when everything around you is falling apart. That's where grit comes in. Grit is what shows up after talent runs out. Grit is what keeps you moving when motivation is gone and comfort is no longer an option. Look around at the people who make it, the people who stay, who rise, who build legacies. They aren't always the most naturally gifted. They're the ones who refuse to give up, the ones who get knocked down and get back up without asking why, the ones who outwork, outlast, and outfight everyone around them. Because grit is about heart. It's about discipline. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, giving your all when you're tired, and pushing forward when everything inside you says quit. We've created a culture that worships talent. We celebrate the prodigies, the gifted, the ones who make it look easy. But success has nothing to do with easy. It has everything to do with endurance, with how much pain you're willing to go through, how many times you're willing to be rejected, how many nights you're willing to grind alone with no applause, no validation, no recognition. Talent doesn't carry you through those nights. Grit does. You can't rely on talent to do the heavy lifting. Talent is potential, but grit is proof. And potential without action is nothing. It's just a nice idea. It's wasted energy. But when you've got grit, when you've made up your mind that no matter what happens, you're not quitting, that's when things change. That's when doors open. That's when people start to notice. Not because you walked in loud and flashy, but because you stayed when everyone else left. Because you endured. You have to make peace with the process. You have to understand that there are no shortcuts to greatness. You'll be tested. You'll be tired. You'll be underestimated. But your grit is what will carry you through. It's not about always winning. It's about refusing to be broken, about getting back up again and again until the world has no choice but to recognize your strength. Grit is what makes you dangerous because it means you won't stop. It means you won't fold under pressure. It means you're still coming no matter how many times you get hit. Talent might help you skip a few steps at first, but grit is what ensures you finish the race. There are talented people everywhere who never reach their potential because they aren't willing to suffer for it. They're not willing to grind, to stretch, to be uncomfortable. But when you've got grit, you don't need everything to be perfect. You don't need a clear path. You just need one reason to keep going, and that's enough. You keep going because you made a promise to yourself that you'd never settle again. When you have grit, you don't make excuses. You don't wait for motivation. You don't need someone to tell you to keep going. You tell yourself. You remind yourself why you started. You remind yourself what's at stake. You stay in the fight, not because it's easy, but because quitting would hurt worse than the struggle ever could. Every champion you admire, every leader who inspires you, every game changer who left a mark, they all had grit. They had reasons to quit, moments when they could have walked away, but they didn't. They stayed. They endured the doubt, the pain, the fear. And now the world sees the glory, but they'll never fully understand the grind. You've got to be okay with that. You've got to be okay being invisible while you build. You've got to love the process so much that even when nobody claps, you still keep going. It's not just about what you can do when everything is going right. It's about who you are when everything is going wrong. That's what defines you. That's what separates the real from the fake. Talent might shine on day 1, but grit shines on day 100, day 365, day 1000. Grit is your anchor. It keeps you grounded, focused, and determined. And when things start to fall apart, grit is what holds you together. So don't just rely on your talent. Build your grit. Strengthen your mindset. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Take the hits and keep standing. Walk in the storm with your head high, knowing that nothing can stop a person who refuses to stop. Because in the end, talent may open the door, but only grit will let you stay in the room long enough to claim what's yours. You don't have to feel strong to be strong. Keep moving. That's the truth they don't tell you. You think the people out there chasing greatness, the ones showing up every day and doing what seems impossible, are walking around feeling confident and powerful every minute. They're not. Most of them are scared. Most of them are tired. Most of them doubt themselves more than they let on. But they keep moving. They keep going. And that's what strength really is. It's not about feeling fearless. It's not about always knowing the answer. It's about showing up anyway. It's about taking the next step, even when everything inside you says you can't. Too many people are waiting to feel strong before they start. They think strength is something that hits them like lightning, something they need to wait for, something that has to feel right. But real strength doesn't come from feelings. It comes from movement, from action, from showing up broken and scared and overwhelmed, but still showing up. Every time you take a step when you don't feel like it, every time you get out of bed when your heart is heavy, every time you push through the resistance, you're proving that strength doesn't live in your emotions. It lives in your decision to move forward. And you might not always see it, but you're becoming stronger in those quiet, brutal, painful moments, the moments no one claps for, the moments no one sees. You're building something deeper than surface level strength. You're building character, grit, discipline, that internal toughness that can't be measured, but can be felt in the way you carry yourself. The strength to continue when your legs are shaking and your heart is breaking. The strength to keep your head up when life is trying to bury you. That's not something you wait for. That's something you become. It's okay to feel weak. It's okay to have moments where you break down, where you question everything, where you wonder if you've got anything left. You're human. But don't let those feelings decide your future. Feel what you need to feel, then keep moving, because motion creates momentum and momentum builds belief. You might start off crawling. You might feel like you're dragging yourself forward, but every inch matters. Every little act of effort matters. And over time, it adds up slowly, quietly. You become something more than you were yesterday. There are days when everything in your body says stop. Days when your mind tries to convince you that it's not worth it. But in those moments, that's where strength is truly built. Not when it's easy, not when everything flows, but when it's hard, when it's silent, when no one is watching and no one is helping, and it's just you and your dream and your pain. That's the battlefield. That's the forge. And if you can take one more step there, you win. You don't need to roar to be powerful. Some days strength sounds like a whisper, a quiet, I'll try again. A silent, I won't give up. Strength looks like showing up to the gym when your soul is tired. It looks like writing another page when your inspiration is gone. It looks like saying, I'll keep going when your confidence is shattered. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's real. And it's unstoppable when it's fed daily with movement. You can't wait for confidence to take action. Confidence comes from action. The more you do the thing you're scared of, the more you realize fear doesn't own you. The more you push through discomfort, the more you realize discomfort can't kill you. That's how you grow. That's how you take control of your life, not by wishing to feel strong, but by acting as if you already are, until your actions become your new identity. Nobody feels strong all the time. Not the champions, not the millionaires, not the fighters. What separates them is that they move regardless. They rise regardless. They build regardless. They keep showing up on the days when motivation is gone and discipline is all that remains. They've trained their minds to understand that movement is the signal of strength. Action is the sign of power. And the only way to lose is to stop moving. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking you need to feel ready. You don't. You just need to be willing to move while it's hard, willing to trust that the strength will meet you on the path, not at the start, but somewhere down the road. Keep walking even if you're stumbling. Keep pushing even if you're shaking. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Every step you take in weakness makes you stronger. Every day you keep pushing through resistance is another day you rise. And one day you'll look back and realize that the strength you were looking for didn't come from inspiration or hype. It came from the days you kept moving, even when you didn't feel strong. Nobody's coming to save you. Be your own rescue. That's a truth that hits hard, but it's necessary. For too long, you've been waiting for someone to notice your potential, to give you a chance, to tell you it's your time. You've been waiting for someone to pull you out of the mess, to believe in you, to fix what's broken. But let me tell you something, they're not coming. No one is going to fight your battles for you. No one is going to carry your dream across the finish line. It's you. It has always been you. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you take your power back. You can't keep looking outside of yourself for answers. You can't keep blaming the world, your past, your parents, your boss, your surroundings, because every second you spend doing that is another second you're giving away your strength. At some point, you've got to stop asking for help that isn't coming and start helping yourself. That doesn't mean you can't accept support, but it means you can't depend on it. You've got to be the one who makes the call, who takes the step, who digs deep and says, I got me. Be your own rescue. That means waking up early even when nobody's holding you accountable. That means staying focused even when no one is watching. That means putting in the reps, grinding through the silence, and building a life on your own terms. Because the truth is, nobody knows your dream like you do. Nobody understands your why like you do. Nobody's going to feel the sting of regret if you give up. That's yours to carry. So you have to be the one to rise. You have to be the one who refuses to settle. There's power in knowing it's all on you. It might sound scary, but it's actually freeing. Because if it's all on you, that means no one can stop you. No one can decide your worth. No one can put a limit on your future. Once you take responsibility, you take control. You stop waiting and you start building. You stop hoping and you start working. You stop doubting and you start doing. You'll have moments where you feel alone. You'll have moments when the weight feels too heavy, when you wish someone would just step in and make it all easier. But in those moments, remind yourself you are enough. You are capable. You have already survived things that were meant to break you. You're still standing. You're still breathing. You're still here. That means there's more in you. That means you've got what it takes. Not because it's easy, but because you're willing. Be your own hero. Save yourself from excuses. Rescue yourself from your own doubts. Set your own limits. Push yourself further than you've ever gone. No one is going to do it for you. And that's okay, because doing it yourself, through the pain, through the fear, through the confusion, that's what gives you real pride. That's what builds self-respect. That's what turns ordinary into unstoppable. And here's what happens when you stop waiting, you start growing. You become more focused, more driven, more intentional. You stop wasting time wondering what people think. You stop asking for permission. You stop needing validation. Because now you're walking with purpose. Now you're moving with clarity. You're no longer hoping for a break. You're creating your own. No one is going to hand you the life you want. But the good news is you don't need them to. You have everything you need right now to begin. You have breath in your lungs, fire in your heart, a dream in your soul. That's your power. That's your fuel. That's your reason. So stop waiting. Stop complaining. Stop pretending you're not ready. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start. Take the first step. Write the first word. Speak the truth you've been hiding. Take the risk you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, do it. Because you're not stuck. You're just waiting. And you don't have to wait anymore. The world isn't going to stop for you. Time isn't going to slow down. Every moment you hesitate is a moment you could have used to build, to rise, to change. So today, decide to be your own rescue. Decide to be your own motivation. Decide to stop leaning on others and start standing on your own strength. You're not powerless. You're not helpless. You've got a fight in you that hasn't even been unleashed yet. And once you stop waiting for a rescue and realize you are the rescue, that's when everything changes. That's when your life finally becomes yours. Your future will only fight for when you start fighting for it. That's the truth. Too many people sit back and hope things will work out. They dream, they wish, they pray, but they don't move. They talk about what they want, what they deserve, what they hope to become, but they're not putting in the fight. The future doesn't respond to hope. It responds to hustle. It responds to effort. It responds to the energy you put into it day after day when no one is watching. You've got to earn your future. You've got to fight for it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future is not guaranteed. Your dream is not promised. If you're not actively fighting for it, you're passively letting it slip away. Every single day, there's a battle happening between who you are now and who you're trying to become. And if you don't show up for that fight, you lose by default. You don't lose because you're not good enough. You don't lose because it's not possible. You lose because you didn't fight. You gave up too soon. You got tired, distracted, or lazy, and your future moved on without you. You've got to stop expecting life to just hand it over. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to show up on your doorstep with a ribbon wrapped around it. Your dream isn't a delivery. It's a war. And you've got to be ready to go to battle for it. That means early mornings, late nights, long days, and lonely hours. That means failing publicly and still trying again. That means being misunderstood, overlooked, and doubted, and still standing up for what you believe in. That's what fighting for your future looks like. If you're not willing to put your dream first, why should it put you first? If you're not willing to bleed for it, why should it reward you with everything you want? Your future needs to see that you're serious. It needs to feel your passion, your grit, your refusal to quit. It needs to know you're committed, not just when it's convenient, but when it's difficult, uncomfortable, and uncertain. That's when the future begins to respond. People keep saying, one day I'll make it. No, one day won't come unless you show up for it, unless you build it, unless you carve it out of the time, effort, and discipline you invest every day. You don't get to live the life you want without earning it. You don't get the reward without the risk. You don't get the results without the relentless pursuit. Your dream is sitting out there waiting, but it's not waiting forever. And here's the thing, your future wants you to win. It's on your side. But it won't fight harder for you than you're willing to fight for yourself. It'll match your energy. If you move soft, it stays quiet. If you move with intention, it starts shifting in your favor. But it starts with you. It always starts with you. The moment you stop blaming and start owning your decisions, your actions, your mindset, that's the moment the tide begins to turn. You've got to ask yourself, are you serious about this or just interested? Are you committed or just curious? Are you willing to give it everything or only what's comfortable? Because your future is waiting for that answer. It's waiting for you to prove it, not with words, not with promises, but with action, with consistency, with unshakable. Even when it feels like nothing's working, keep going. Even when the results are slow, keep showing up. Even when you're tired, frustrated, and doubting yourself, don't back down. Because every time you show up for your dream shows up for you. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in the way you expect, but it will come. Just not to the person who waits, only to the person who works. This is your fight. No one else can fight it for you. No one else can carry your vision. No one else can do the inner work it takes to push through the fear, the laziness, the excuses. That's on you. And you've got to get to the point where you want it bad enough that nothing can stop you. You've got to want it more than you want sleep, more than you want comfort, more than you want approval, more than you want ease. When your desire gets that strong, your future starts to bend in your direction. So stop waiting, stop delaying, stop thinking you have time. Time is moving whether you are or not. Get up, lock in, focus up, give everything you have to the vision that's burning inside of you. Because your future, the one with freedom, fulfillment, and greatness, is real. But it won't fight for someone who's not in the ring. So fight. And don't stop until your future is forced to recognize your name. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be relentless. That's what most people don't understand. They think winning is about being smarter, faster, stronger, more talented. They think success is reserved for the elite, for the chosen ones, for the people who had a head start. But the truth, the real truth, success doesn't belong to the gifted. It belongs to the driven. It belongs to the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who don't stop when they're tired, who don't fold when it's hard, who don't wait for permission to move. It belongs to relentless. Being relentless means you don't need applause to keep going. You don't need perfect results every day. You don't need someone cheering you on. You keep showing up, rain or shine, failure or progress, win or loss, because this isn't just a dream to you. It's a commitment. It's a lifestyle. It's who you are. You've burned the bridges, shut the door to retreat, and made the decision to push forward no matter what. That's what being relentless looks like. Most people quit because it's hard. Most people stop when the motivation fades. They get one rejection and turn back. They hit one roadblock and call it a sign to stop. But the relentless, they don't stop. They take the rejection, the resistance, the pressure, and they use it. They turn the pain into fuel. They turn the silence into focus. They don't need things to go right to move forward. They move anyway. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. You just need to be the one who stays the longest, who works when others sleep, who trains when others relax, who prepares when others procrastinate. That's how you win, not by being perfect, by being present, by showing up every single day with discipline, even when your feelings try to lie to you. There will be days when you doubt everything, when the numbers don't add up, when the progress feels invisible, when the world seems like it's against you. That's when most people walk away. But if you're relentless, that's when you dig in deeper. That's when you fight harder. Because you're not in it for comfort, you're in it for greatness. And greatness never shows up early. It shows up for the last one standing. It's not about inspiration. It's not about being in the mood. It's about drive. Relentless people move whether they feel like it or not. They've trained their mind to serve the mission, not their mood. And because of that, they build momentum. They build toughness. They build habits that outlast emotion. That's what gives them the edge. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to miss out on things. You'll have to be misunderstood. You'll be tired. You'll be alone sometimes, but that's the price. That's what it costs to chase something big. And when you're relentless, you don't resent the price. You respect it because you know the reward isn't just about the result. It's about who you become in the process. You don't have to be celebrated to keep grinding. You don't have to win every time to keep going. You just have to not stop. That's the secret. It's not brilliance. It's not talent. It's consistency. And consistency only lives in the heart of the relentless. Look around you. There are people more talented than you. That's fine. There are people who had better opportunities, more resources, more support. That's okay because they might be better. But if you're more consistent, if you're more hungry, if you refuse to stop, you'll outlast them. You'll outrun them. You'll beat them because you didn't give up when they did. Being relentless means knowing that every step you take is getting you closer. Even the small ones, even the ugly ones, even the ones that feel like failure. Because when you refuse to stop, you can't lose. It might take longer. It might cost more. but it will happen, not because you're special, but because you're relentless. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel strong. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Move now, push now, show up now, make relentless your identity. Let it be the way you walk, the way you train, the way you speak to yourself. Every single time life hits you, stand up one more time. Every single time doubt creeps in, push it back with action. Every single time someone tells you no, use it as fool. Be relentless, because in the end, it won't be the most talented who win. It will be the ones who refuse to quit. Most people live their lives reacting. They wake up and wait to see how the day treats them. If things go well, they feel good. If things go wrong, they fall apart. They let circumstances control them. But that's not how winners move. That's not how fighters live. If you want to rise, if you want to build a life that's truly your own, you have to stop reacting and start choosing. You have to live with intention every day, every hour, every move. You have to take control of your time, your energy, your focus, and decide where it goes. Not just hope it lands somewhere good. Living with intention isn't about being perfect. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about taking ownership of your direction. It's about deciding who you want to become and then acting like it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient. Because if you don't decide your path, someone else will. If you don't take control of your story, life will write one for you, and you might not like how it ends. Every morning you wake up, you've got a choice. Will you move toward the life you want or drift further from it? It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a decision to hit snooze or get up, to scroll or to study, to complain or to build, to stay stuck or to step forward. Those little moments shape your future more than you realize, because your habits become your days become your years, and your years become your legacy. You have to ask yourself, what am I choosing today? Am I choosing growth or comfort? Discipline or distraction? Progress or passivity? The future you want is built in the present. And if you're not intentional, you'll look up a year from now and wonder where the time went, why nothing changed, why you still feel stuck. But the truth is, nothing changed because you didn't change. You didn't decide. You let life push you around instead of pushing back. Intentional living requires clarity. You've got to get honest about what you want and why you want it. Not what looks good to others, not what impresses people, what you truly want deep down. Once you're clear on that, every decision becomes easier, because now you have a filter. Does this choice move me closer to who I'm becoming, or does it pull me further away? People love to say they're committed to success, but their schedule tells the truth. Their habits tell the truth. You can't say you want to be great and spend hours every day doing things that drain your potential. You can't claim to be focused while entertaining every distraction. You can't say you're hungry while feeding yourself comfort and convenience. Your actions must match your ambition, or it's all just talk. This isn't about being busy. It's about being on purpose. It's about saying no to what doesn't matter so you can say yes to what does. It's about learning how to protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Time is the one thing you never get back, and yet most people spend it like it's endless. The intentional ones, they spend it like it's sacred. They guard it. They direct it. They use it to build something meaningful. It won't be easy. You'll have to disappoint some people. You'll have to say no to invitations to bad habits, to old patterns. You'll have to make choices that aren't popular, but are powerful. That's the price. But that's also the path, because the more you live with intention, the more your life begins to align with your purpose. You stop chasing random things. You stop comparing. You stop needing approval. You move differently, with confidence, with peace, with vision. Living with intention means you don't wait for permission. You don't wait for the right mood. You create your own momentum. You don't just hope for a better future. You build it brick by brick with every decision, every action, every thought you discipline. You become someone who doesn't just exist. You become someone who leads your life. That's the key leadership, self-leadership. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. If you can't follow through on your own promises. If you can't hold yourself accountable. You don't need more motivation. You need more commitment. You need more intention behind your actions. Because when you move with purpose, you don't need hype. You move because you decided to. This is your life. No one else is going to live it for you. No one else is going to care about your goals like you do. So take that seriously. Stop sleepwalking through your days. Stop waiting for something to change. Be the change. Move like your dream matters, because it does. Talk like your future depends on it, because it does. Work like your time is running out, because it is. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to live like you mean it. Be intentional. Be focused. Be clear. Because the moment you start choosing your life instead of just surviving it, everything begins to shift.